Oh, welcome into the Russ Joy Show. I'm Russ Joy. You figure that out because you're smart. It's also the name of the show. Give it up for yourselves. You have made it almost through the month of November. We are almost 11 months through this year. And officially, it's Thanksgiving Eve, which means a lot of you are going to make terrible decisions tonight. Try not to make too many terrible decisions tonight. Be responsible. Okay, now let's see. What are some of the different autumnal options we have here? I mean, this one's pretty good. Yeah, all the way around. I think I don't like the pumpkin. I think this is, we'll go with this. Let's rock with the festive border. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, hey, Russ, why don't we talk about the fact that Nikita Grabenkin is actually going to be in the lineup for your team, your town, your Philadelphia Flyers tonight? Isn't that something we should talk about? Hey, Russ, should we talk about the fact that Philadelphia media people are so angry with each other that they were yelling at each other at a Vic Fangio press conference on Tuesday? Hey, Russ, should we talk about the fact that Joel Embiid doesn't seem to want to play Paul George out of the lineup? Should we have a conversation about that? Hey, Russ, should we talk about the fact that the Philadelphia Phillies really haven't shown many signs of life since their season ended? Hey, Russ, should we talk about the fact that the Philadelphia Union just exercised an option on Ty Baribo, and they're apparently going to enter negotiations with Bedoya, who's out of contract? No, we're not doing any of that today. Why? Well, because I want to have a little bit of sanity between now and the holiday, and I also decided at the very last minute that instead of talking about sports today, we are going to go fully off the board, and we are going to have a conversation about Thanksgiving. Now, I know that Thanksgiving is a popular holiday. I will tell you that I think Thanksgiving might actually be the best holiday of them all, and I'm pretty resolute in that belief. You could try to change my mind if you want, but I will also tell you that in the description of this episode, there is an actual link that does work right now. If you want to call into the show and have a conversation about Thanksgiving, you can go into the description on, at least on YouTube, on the Russ Joy Show YouTube channel. You can actually see a link for a call in, and you can let me know what you think about Thanksgiving, about your favorite side dish. I would love to have a very brief conversation. This won't be a super long episode, but again, you have all of the options in the world. You could certainly go there. I think it's like tinyurl.com/TRJS, the Russ Joy Show, TRJS Thanksgiving. You can also just type that in. You can call from your phone. You can go video on, video off. Let me know what your thoughts about Thanksgiving are. But by all means, let me know. We're only going to talk about Thanksgiving today. All right. We have plenty of other days we could talk about sports. We have other days that we can bemoan things. Like I see Joe Papel checking in. Hey, Russ, isn't this really just another faux playoff run? Eastern Conference parity is mediocre play with awful jammed up schedule. And Joe, I love you and I appreciate you and I appreciate the question. We're not going to sports today. We're sticking with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a holiday. It's a magical holiday. It is a majestic holiday. Thanksgiving is the one holiday a year where you don't have to do much of anything, right? It's all about sit down and enjoy life, enjoy some family, enjoy some friends. Just sit down together and have a nice big meal. Have a well-prepared meal, hopefully. If you go to somebody else's house and you're kind of at the mercy of whether or not they can cook or not, well, then that is a little bit of a problem. If you host and you have to open your house, that's where you put your 4 kids to work and you make sure that they clean the house and they vacuum, or maybe they get things ready for the robot vacuum mop to go through and kind of clean the place up a little bit. It finally gives you the ability to, get your house in order. But then you do have the stress of having to cook. And I don't know if you could tell it or not. Let's do this real quick. Let me see. I should be able to, I could control a zoom here. All right, let's do this. We're going to go like this. We're going to zoom. Now, I don't know if you could see this or not on my face. I don't know if you could see the stress. The stress is here. Do you know why the stress is here? Because as soon as I'm done this show, I got to go prep a brisket, because that brisket's got to go on around 5 or 6 p.m. And then that brisket is going to go on the big green egg until probably about 2 in the morning. Then I have to wake up. I'm going to have to wrap that brisket. I'm going to have to put it back on. And then around 5 or 6 in the morning on Thanksgiving, I'm going to have to take that brisket off and put it in the cooler and let it kind of calm down. You know why? Because what's going to go on that big green egg after the brisket is done? Thank you for asking. I'll tell you what's going to go on. A turkey. Oh, Russ, does that mean you're only doing 1 turkey this year? I thought you did 2 last year. Are you now some kind of a slacker? Nope, I'm not a slacker. We are doing 2 turkeys this year. Oh, God help me. We're doing 2 turkeys this year, just like we did last year. We're doing a roasted turkey, and then we're going to do a smoked turkey. Now, you might say to yourself, Russ, if you're going to have a smoked turkey and a roasted turkey, does that mean that the brisket is also kind of redundant? Why do you need 3 major proteins? That seems a little bit excessive. We're going to have 16 people. Let me think. 6, 10, 14. Is it 14? 16. We're going to have 16 people in this house for Thanksgiving. And so there needs to be copious amounts of food. There needs to just be an unending amount of food on the table ready to go at any given point. So, my life is going to be kind of chaotic and insane, but that's okay. We always like to host. I'm firmly of the belief, if you have the most kids, you get to dictate terms. We have the most kids, we dictate terms. Everybody comes to us, both sets of grandparents, my sister and her family, my wife's brother and aunt. Everybody shows up to this house, and it is going to be a marvelous time. But I will tell you, of all the things that are going to happen, the brisket and the turkeys are probably the most important. So we're going to get there. Now I'm going to drop the comments over here for those who feel so moved by the spirit and want to get in on the conversation today. By all means, you can. And don't forget, like I said a little bit ago, you're not obligated to do this, but if you feel so moved by the spirit today and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to call Russ. Don't forget, you have the ability to do so. You could join from your laptop, your phone, your tablet, whatever, and weigh in on your favorite side. It could be the way that you do your turkey, whatever. Now, I am going to give my wife a shout. I don't usually do this on the show, but I will give my wife a shout because she has the most successful of all of our social media. She has the biggest account. She had a video that did like 14 million views or something on TikTok. She did a thing today about spatchcocking a turkey. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Russ, that doesn't sound great. What is spatchcocking a turkey? I will tell you right now that as you prepare for whatever version of Thanksgiving you're going to do, if you are going to roast a full turkey, if you're going to leave that turkey whole, and maybe even forget that plastic bag on the inside with all the gizzards, not that I know people have done that before. If you're going to roast a full turkey, you are doing it wrong. If you are going to roast that full turkey as it comes out of the bag and you're like, that is not the way to roast a turkey. If you're going to stuff aromatics in it, like onion and maybe some lemon and some other stuff, that is not the way to do it. If you're going to stuff that bird, God forbid, with stuffing, if you are living in the 1930s and you're like, I need to shove stuffing into this bird, I will remind you of a few things. 1, that's a terrible idea. 2, it's going to take forever. 3, you're going to overcook the meat. 4, the stuffing on the inside is going to have salmonella because there's practically no chance you're going to cook that stuffing to be the 165 it needs to be for it to be, safe to eat. Then you're going to have to pull the stuffing out of the bird, which is kind of gross, put it into a casserole dish, put it back in the oven. It's just not a good idea. And by the way, if you have always relied on a little plastic thing in the bird to tell you that the chicken or that the turkey breast meat is done, that's not to tell you it's done. That's to tell you it's overdone. You've made a dry bird. So be very careful. Now, I will walk you through a few things, but most notably, I will let my wife walk you through these things because I trust her a whole lot more than I trust myself. But I will tell you, spatchcocking a turkey is the best thing you can do. Cut the spine out of the bird, break it, and go from there. So we are actually going to, right now, we're going to go out to my wife's TikTok as she walks you through how to spatchcock a turkey because I think that is the kind of content people need leading up to Thanksgiving. Thing kind of set up, and we're gonna get into it. All right, here we go. This is my dumb face made an appearance, but here you go. We're gonna go out to this video. Let's go out to how to spatchcock a turkey. All right, here we go. Again, this has nothing to do with me, but my dumb face is in here. All right, here we go.
It's got a little booty hole. Let me see the booty hole. Okay, that's the booty hole.
I mean, there goes the spine. It's gone. Spine has been cut out of that bird. There's the other piece.
Break it.
There's the turkey.
Yeah.
That is a spatchcocked bird. But don't worry, there's a second one.
Smaller bird. On your back. There we go. Here, girl.
And then, oh,
You just breathe in.
I know it's concerning.
Yeah, big bird, little bird. The world's best poultry seasoning. If you don't have this on Thanksgiving, if you're making a traditional turkey, what are you doing? Kinders.
So Bell's is by far the best if you're going to roast a turkey. And now we have Kindred's, or you could go like pork barrel seasoning, or you can make your own barbecue spice blend. But we'll get there in a second if you're going to do it on the egg.
Kinders is really good. So we'll use do Kinders for the big boy. This guy is going to get smoked on big green egg. It's done. The smoke is going to give most of the flavor, to be honest with you. Indoor. Salt first.
So we do dry brines. We don't do wet brines in this house.
With butter.
Wet brining your turkey is okay.
On top. But right now, I just want the skin to dry out. That is the point.
Pulling that moisture.
Yes.
There's the Bells.
In the fridge. Overnight. Roasted olive oil and butter. Spatchcock your turkey, or I don't know what you're doing for Thanksgiving. Cut its spine off. Crack its ribs. And roast it. A stuffed turkey? Who are you? Charles Dickens? Stop it. Don't stuff your turkeys. You're giving your family salmonella. Ew.
It's my wife. All right, so I hope you learned something today. If you learned nothing else, if you have learned nothing else all year, if you have thought that my takes on sports are horrible, if you have been worried this entire time, is Russ actually a stone cold idiot? The jury's still out. I might be, I might not be. The one thing that you should do is spatchcock the turkey. Take the spine out, either get nice kitchen shears or get a nice sharp knife, cut the spine out, flip it over, break the breastbone. It cooks the turkey perfectly every time. Perfectly. Okay? You get that nice distribution. If you have a convection oven, it's even better, right? You get that nice distribution, and if you have a little rack that you can put in your pan, fantastic turkey. It's going to be the best turkey of your life. I will also tell you, when you're roasting chicken or roasting turkey, you don't have to be as worried about cranking the temperature up on the bird. A lot of people get really worried. Oh, I have to cook this at 300. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's just going to take a long time. If you're roasting a chicken, especially, you can roast it like 400, 425. And as long as you're not adult about it, you'll get very, very nice, crispy skin on the outside, and the meat will be juicy on the inside. So there's turkey tip. All right. That's the first thing. We have a turkey tip for today. Spatchcock your turkey. Number 2, we have to have a conversation about some side dishes. Okay. Because side dishes to me are what will ultimately make or break your Thanksgiving. Now, again, I would love to know in the comment section what you think about respective side dishes. 1, I have a question about stuffing. I have seen people, and I have listened to some podcasts this week where people talk about doing their stuffing or their filling or whatever they want to call it. They chop up bits of sausage and put it in their stuffing. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. I think it actually sounds pretty good. But I think that is a violation to add sausage to your turkey stuffing. Now, if it's a separate thing, I think it's okay. But I don't fully understand the point. But okay, you guys can let me know if I'm crazy. Stuffing has the ability to be a fantastic side, right? Here's how you're going to take it next level. So you're going to make your stuffing, right? You don't have to make the stuffing, and like I said, we're not shoving that in the bird. That's just dumb. Put your stuffing into like a metal pan, right? Get the disposable things. Everything Thanksgiving, you want to make your life easy. Disposable pans. That is critical. Okay. Put your stuffing in the pan. Maybe put a few pads of butter on there. Put it in the fridge. We have almost all of our sides are done today. My wife, she took the time. She took today, did a lot of the sides. So you put the stuffing in the fridge. You let it sit. And then guess what? Before it's time for everybody to eat, you take the pan drippings that come from your spatchcocked turkey. You add that to some gravy, or you add some of those drippings, and you add that over the top of your stuffing. Your stuffing is going to be the best it's ever been. 100%. It'll be the best stuffing you've ever had in your life. So that's stuffing. Mashed potatoes. Is there anything better? Is there a better preparation for potatoes in this life than mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving? It is fundamental to a good Thanksgiving plate. I have seen people talk about scalloped potatoes as if scalloped potatoes belong anywhere near the Thanksgiving plate. I would not say that's domestic terrorism, but I might say it's domestic terrorism. Why on God's green earth, if you have the ability to make food, why would you put scalloped potatoes on the plate on Thanksgiving? It's mashed potatoes all the way, 100%. Now, if you want to add a little bit of garlic, we'll do some roasted garlic potatoes. Make sure you roast the garlic first. Nobody likes raw garlic. Roast the garlic first. That's fine. A little bit of butter. Add that to the mashed potatoes with plenty of butter and heavy cream. And enjoy your mashed potatoes. You deserve it. You 100% deserve to enjoy those mashed potatoes. Okay, the gravy. We talked about this with the stuffing, but don't forget, Use some of those turkey drippings in your gravy. That's how you take gravy and you make it next level. Okay, that's easy. Sweet potato casserole. We can all agree that marshmallows belong on a sweet potato casserole, right? I know a few people who've said, not a big fan of the marshmallows. And those people, I'm pretty sure, are out of their minds. Sweet potato casserole absolutely needs to have marshmallows. You want to go mini, you want to go big boy marshmallows on top, whatever you want, add it to your sweet potato casserole. I got no notes for you. Here's a good thing for you to do. If your family is one of the ones that kind of freaks out about the green bean casserole, you can already buy the what are they, like the dried onion bits, right? Like the crunchy onion bits, and kind of sprinkle them over the top of your green bean casserole. Do that. You want an easy life hack? Use cream of mushroom soup. Really simple. Cream of mushroom soup. If you have a family who demands like canned green beans, I don't know why, but apparently in this family, that is a thing from a request from one side of the family, not my side. They want the canned green beans. If you have people who are open to it, you do fresh green beans and you make a green bean casserole that way. Whatever. Cream of mushroom soup is a very good life choice. You could do that. Drop those crispy onions on top. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are fantastic. You know what you could do to make Brussels sprouts even better? Pancetta. Do a little bit of pancetta in a pan. Add it to your Brussels sprouts. Roast those suckers. You will thank me. And if you want to go next level, if you're a good Italian out there and you want to take Brussels sprouts to the next level, you do Brussels sprouts, you do pancetta. You can even hit a little bit of balsamic. I'm just saying it's going to change your life. Now, mac and cheese is a very interesting one, right? So Amadeo says, baked mac and cheese is a must. I will tell you that growing up, I did not have mac and cheese on my Thanksgiving plate. And it actually took me a while to kind of come around on it because I don't necessarily think that mac and cheese does belong at Thanksgiving. But since we're doing a brisket this year, well, we're definitely doing mac and cheese. My wife already made it. Now, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to see if I can find it really quick. I want to find her TikTok for it. So Teeny, who was on Next Level Chef, Teeny, Tini, she has a mac and cheese to die for. Like, it is by far the best mac and cheese recipe you will find this side of the Mississippi. Bunch of different kinds of cheese on the inside. You do a layer of the mac and cheese once it's cooked, and then a bunch of cheese, and then another layer of mac and cheese, and then more cheese, and then another layer, and then more cheese. Look up the recipe. It is fantastic. It will blow everyone's mind. It's not hard to make. Use Teeny's mac and cheese recipe. You will be happy for it. So let's see. We've gone down. Let me double. We got the turkey. We got the brisket, mashed potatoes. We have stuffing. We talked about Brussels sprouts, green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole. With mashed potatoes, I'm going to put a poll up over on YouTube real quick because I need people to let me know if they think this is crazy or not. When I think of mashed potatoes, of course you think of gravy, but I also think of corn. Does corn belong with mashed potatoes? That's the poll. It's a really simple poll. I've now thrown it up there on the Russ Joy Show YouTube channel. Does corn belong with mashed potatoes? I say 100% yes. I'm not looking for anything crazy, okay? Canned corn, you want to throw a little bit of extra butter in there, some salt and pepper, live your best life. You want to microwave it, you want to put it on the stove, I don't care. But when that Thanksgiving plate comes out, I fully expect that if I am at a Thanksgiving dinner, there is corn ready to be placed atop the mashed potatoes. You take the spoon, you make a little divot in your mashed potato, you drop the corn in, you pour the gravy over top, and you feel better about the world. You can have a terrible day. Thanksgiving Eve, maybe you go out to Club 18 in Pottsville and you drink way too many Chetties, aka Chesterfield ales, and maybe you have explosive diarrhea the next day. I'll tell you what's going to make you feel better. Mashed potatoes with gravy and corn. If you don't have the corn, you pretty much feel like, you hate your life the next day. You want corn in your mashed potatoes without a doubt. Like on top of it. I'm not saying mix the corn into the mashed potatoes, like into the big mash. That'd be weird. But put the corn on top of the mashed potatoes with a little bit of gravy. You're going to feel great. I'm going to go over here real quick. Let's see. Amadeo says, I like to put the corn scoop on top of the mashed potatoes. That's exactly what you do. All right, so we talked about mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, stuffing, sweet potato casserole. Oh, cauliflower casserole. I know people do it. I think we usually have a cauliflower casserole that gets brought to this house. It's perfectly fine. It's got like a cheesy base to it. If it's done well, it's good. If it's not done well, maybe not. Now, this is the one. Cranberry sauce. We have to have a conversation about cranberry sauce. Okay. Cranberry sauce goes one of two ways, and you have to be really, really careful. So if you are one of the people in this world who actually enjoys the cranberry sauce in a can, which I'm not going to judge. If you like the cranberry sauce and the whatever that sound is, of the cranberry sauce hitting the plate and then jiggling, right? If you like that cranberry sauce, I will not judge you. It has a place. It's a sweet cranberry sauce. But then somebody, I'm pretty sure it's contractually obligated, somebody who shows up to your house, or you if you're hosting, has to make the fresh cranberry sauce, right? That has some kind of a real tartness to it to kind of help cut through the richness of everything else on the plate. Now, my wife's aunt is the one who makes the tart cranberry sauce, and it is my favorite thing. It is maybe the thing that jumps out the most on Thanksgiving. It is the thing that warms the cockles of my heart. It's nice, it's bright, it's citrusy, it's tart. And when you're in the midst of having, turkey and this year brisket and mashed potatoes and everything else, having a little bit of cranberry sauce, the tart cranberry sauce to kind of cut through it, it's fantastic. The real next level thing is to take a little bit of the canned cranberry sauce, a little bit of the tart cranberry sauce, put them together with a little bit of turkey, a little bit of mash, maybe a little bit of stuffing, some corn, some gravy. Perfect bite. Perfect bite. That's cranberry sauce. Let me see here. Havokin 90 or 45 says candy yams. I don't do candy yams. We do sweet potato casserole, but we don't do candied yams. I won't judge you if you want to do candied yams. I think it's perfectly acceptable. I hope you enjoy them. Amadeo says his family never did homemade cranberry sauce. Well, that's on your family. You guys have to have a conversation about that. Yeah. Fawcett says cranberry sauce in a can is nostalgic. It's pretty good. Now, Amadeo here with a good point. Biscuits. So biscuits are okay. Biscuits are perfectly acceptable. I know a lot of people who do like the Pillsbury crescent rolls as like the bread representation. My wife last night was like, I think I'm going to make some homemade rolls, which are fantastic, and I wouldn't falter. But I said, what about just doing cornbread? Because cornbread is also fantastic. You could do cornbread muffins if you want. Kind of gives you all of the good bits and all the good feels. And since we're doing brisket, what goes better with brisket than cornbread? I'm actually starting to think that we might need a coleslaw, which really doesn't belong on a Thanksgiving plate. But since we're doing the brisket, now this is part of the problem, though, with doing two different kinds of protein. It's one thing to have a roasted turkey and a smoked turkey and now have a brisket as well. But it's a lot. It's a lot of different things competing on the plate. But there is a way to make it all cohesive and come together. Biscuits are okay. I have no problem with biscuits. I will not hold anyone. I won't hold against anybody if they want biscuits on their plate. You want rolls, you want cornbread, live your best life. I think we've covered all of the major food points. Now, desserts are where we have to have a conversation, okay? What do we do with desserts, okay? Do pies actually belong at Thanksgiving? I could actually make a case that cohesively, cakes are better for Thanksgiving than pie. I could make a case that a really good pumpkin cake or a pumpkin bread or a Jewish apple cake could actually be a better life choice, a better call than pie. I like a nice apple pie. Don't get me wrong. I love a good apple pie. Pumpkin pie is okay. I feel like it gets bailed out by either Cool Whip or whipped cream. I don't think pumpkin pie is really that great. I think pumpkin pie is the thing that we've held on way too long to in this country. I think it's about time that we, elevate our cuisine beyond pumpkin pie. Pumpkin flavored things are fine. I'll tell you what, somebody wants to have like a pumpkin spice coffee tomorrow, I'll make them a pumpkin spice coffee. Somebody wants to have a pumpkin spice espresso, I'll make them a pumpkin spice espresso or a pumpkin Americano. I don't care. But a pumpkin pie, I'm not so sure we need that anymore. I'm not sure that we do. An apple pie, sure. Cherry pie, maybe. Blueberry pie doesn't belong on Thanksgiving. Sweet potato pie, trying too hard. I think a pumpkin cake, my mom has made it before, a pumpkin cake with like a chocolate drizzle over top, fantastic. I don't think we have to limit it to pie. But you know what? It is Thanksgiving. And if I'm going to do turkey and I'm going to do brisket, maybe we need to have pies and we need to have turkeys. I think cakes are totally acceptable, though. You can let me know if you agree or disagree. There you go. This is cakes 100%. Now, Joe Papel with the real question. This is the thing that we probably think about. And by the way, this is also correct. Apple pie heated up with some ice cream on top. Perfect for Thanksgiving. You want to hit some apple pie, some warm apple pie out of the oven, and then drop a dollop of vanilla ice cream on top. Oh, yeah. You've capped off a very, very successful Thanksgiving. But Joe Papel asks, after dinner drinks? Here's what I'll say to it, Joe. I am not opposed to an after dinner drink. I'm not. Here's the problem. You have to, and this isn't about my family. This is just in general. Are after dinner drinks a very good idea for some families? Probably not. Because you know what's going to happen. After dinner drinks are going to lead to arguments about politics. And if your family has somehow managed to keep it all together and get through the entire dinner without talking about politics, the after dinner drinks are probably going to make everybody come out. And then the question is, what's that going to look like? Now, an after dinner drink, I think we'd go with probably going to go coffee. So maybe hit it with a little bit of amaretto or a little bit of frangelico. Maybe do a little beverage, a little tipsy coffee. I think that one's fine. Am I going to look to like hit an old fashioned or two after Thanksgiving? Maybe during football at night, but not like right on the table. I don't think I'm doing that. Boilo, it's not Boilo time yet. Boilo time will happen once Thanksgiving is over. Boilo time happens leading up to Christmas. I might actually do a video making Boilo on this channel because I don't think it should just be held into the coal region. I think that we should expand the reach of Boilo to all of you people from this greater Southeast Philadelphia area or wherever you come to me from. Some of you are in Texas. Some of you check in from the Pacific Northwest. Some of you check in from California or the Northeast, even farther in the Northeast, up in New England. Some of you are down south. I think Joe is probably in Florida right now. Boilo is something we should probably talk about at some point. Now, I'm looking to see. Tony Louie says, us Italians at Kennett Square make mushroom stuffing. It's the darkest form of stuffing. I've never had mushroom stuffing, but I've heard of using all kinds of different mushrooms and stuffing. I'm not a big mushroom fan. Mushrooms freak me out. They're fungus. I don't like mushrooms. I will enjoy the essence of mushroom. I enjoy the umami that mushroom brings to a plate or to a dish. Mushrooms on pizza, that is domestic terrorism. Mushrooms, small mushrooms that are like sauteed and then like added to like a pasta dish or something, I can get there. I had something at a place in King of Prussia last week. It was a short rib, and then there were like a few different kinds. It was a chanterelle mushrooms. There were like a few different kinds of mushrooms. They were sauteed. They were small. I can get past that. But like mushrooms in the stuffing, I don't know. I don't know if I need that. So anyway, I think we've covered everything that's going to be on my Thanksgiving Day plate tomorrow. I think so. Now, here's what I would like everybody to do. I want you all to just take a moment. And as you are getting together, wherever you decide to celebrate Thanksgiving, assuming that you celebrate Thanksgiving. If you're in another country that doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, okay. If you're Canadian, you had Thanksgiving last month. If you are in these United States of America, and you're like, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I hate Thanksgiving. The Pilgrims are a bunch of genocidal. We're not doing that, okay? You keep your opinions to yourself. But if you're going to celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow, if you're hosting, all the best to you. I hope that the people who come to your house bring love and good energy to your home. And, you know, it doesn't end with people throwing forks at each other, arguing about who they voted for. I hope it doesn't devolve. I hope you have a nice Thanksgiving. If you're going to someone else's house, don't cause the chaos. Don't be the person who causes the chaos at Thanksgiving. Just don't do it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the football. What do we have? Cowboys. We have Cowboys Chiefs tomorrow. Should be a really nice game, a good game. As much as we don't like the Chiefs, it'll probably be a good idea to root for them against the Cowboys because, you know, God knows the Eagles couldn't get the job done against the Cowboys. We don't need to talk about it. But enjoy the football tomorrow. That's always something to look forward to. The parades, love parades. Kids love parades. Everybody loves parades. Who doesn't love parades? Lots of good stuff to look forward to tomorrow. Now, let me see. Is it a triple header tomorrow? It is. We have Packers-Lions at 1 o'clock. That's going to be a great game. Chiefs-Cowboys at 4:30. Should be a very good game. Bengals-Ravens is going to stink. I think they said Joe Burrow's playing tomorrow, though. Bengals-Ravens could be a good game. It's just like two teams that have been largely disappointing this season. So that looked like an absolute killer game at the beginning of the year. Oh, I'm a total moron. The Ravens have won 5 straight. This tells you I'm very much in the Philly sports of it all. I've not been paying attention. The Ravens have won 5 straight. All right, good on the Ravens. Bengals stink. We'll see what that game ends up looking like. So we have a really good game in Lions-Packers. We have a probably good game in Chiefs-Cowboys. And we have a Ravens team that is on fire. I genuinely had no idea. How pathetic is that? It's pretty bad. I should have known that. I knew the Steelers had a good-ish year so far. I didn't realize that the Ravens caught fire like this. Good on the Ravens. I don't hate the Ravens. Good on Lamar Jackson. All right. We'll hopefully get some good football. We'll hopefully have some good food. I will probably chronicle what's happening with the brisket because as soon as the show ends, I got to go upstairs. I got to go get my 16-pound brisket. I got to trim that sucker up. I got to prep the big green egg. I got to get that to a good temperature. I got to get the blue translucent smoke instead of the white puffy bad smoke. I got to get those hunks of wood on there. I have to decide which kind of flavor profile I'm going to go for with this brisket. And then tomorrow, in the wee hours of the morning, I've got to get a turkey on there to smoke a turkey as well. So there's a lot of work to be done. But before we go, I just want to thank all of you, okay? Because I appreciate the fact that Joey B is here. And Joey says, Happy Thanksgiving from Colorado. Thanks for being here, Joey. And also wishes a Happy Thanksgiving to the chat. I do want to thank each and every one of you who, for whatever reason, decides on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday, sometimes all three, sometimes two, sometimes never. Who knows? Maybe you're new. I want to thank everybody who joins me on this show. Listen, I get it. It is not some juggernaut of a show. We don't have 10,000 people tuning in live to this show. I get it. But I appreciate the fact that each and every one of you does. Those of you who interact, maybe you see a little bit of the show live. Maybe you come back and you watch a little bit. Maybe you watch a clip over on YouTube. Maybe you see the shorts on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Thanks for interacting with them. Thanks for being part of this. It's a labor of love. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm thankful for all of you. Thankful for the video guy Amadeo who does all the clips and does all the short form stuff. I'm thankful to my co-hosts over on Snow the Goalie, Ant and Bundy, and intern Andrew on the Press Row Show. And I'm always thankful to each and every one of you who decides to go out of your way, download the show, listen to the show, stream the show, whatever, interact with the shows. So a big thank you to each and every one of you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I truly do. I am not sure if we're going to do a show on Black Friday. I'm not positive, okay? I don't know 100% for sure. Now, the Flyers play. The Eagles play on Black Friday, not the Flyers. Eagles play on Black Friday. We might do a Black Friday show. I'm not sure yet. The only issue there, so Eagles play at 3:00 on Black Friday. Outside chance we do a post-game show. Like really small chance, but there's a small chance that I'll do a show on Friday after the Eagles game. Maybe not immediately after the Eagles game, but at some point on Friday night, maybe Saturday morning. I really don't know yet. But there's a good chance that we'll do something Eagles related on Friday. The Flyers do play. They play the Islanders on Black Friday. They play at 4:00. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching the Flyers on Black Friday against the Islanders. I mean, I guess I'll have the Flyers on a second screen. I'm watching the Eagles game. I'll have the Flyers on DVR. If nothing else, I'll be able to talk about the Flyers game when it's over. I'll watch it on DVR. So we'll see. All right. I know people are. They're playing the Islanders. Whatever. Tony Louis asks, Flyers aren't home again until next week, right? That is correct. The Flyers are on a road trip. They play the Panthers on Wednesday night. They've got the Islanders on Friday afternoon on the island. They've got the Devils on Saturday. They are back at home on Monday, which oddly enough is December 1st. I cannot believe next Monday is December already, but they host the Penguins, and that starts a 6-game homestand for the Flyers in the month of December. And then they're back on the road. They don't come home until just before Christmas on the 22nd. They have a game against the Canucks, and then they're back on the road, and that wraps up the year. I mean, we talked about the fact that the Flyers have played a lot of home games. It's about to get crazy. Like that 6-game home stretch. They have a one-off before Christmas against the Canucks, and then they're done for the calendar year. They don't return until January. So Flyers and Eagles Black Friday. We'll probably do a show at some point on – I went from maybe to probably. I don't know. We might do a show on Friday. Keep your eyes out. Keep an eye on social media. I'll try to put something in the community tab on this channel to let you know if we're doing a show or not on Friday night or maybe on Saturday. But in the meantime, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe. You can ring the bell to get notified whenever the show goes live. Everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. have a lot of fun. Be nice to your friends. Be nice to your family. Be nice to one another. I hope that your food turns out nice. And hey, you could always tweet at me at Joy on Broad or at the Russ Joy Show. You can let me know how your Thanksgiving meal turned out. Send me a picture of the plate. Maybe we'll go over some of the best plates I've seen on Friday. I don't know. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Until then, this has been the Russ Joy Show, and I've been Russ Joy, but you knew that already because you're smart. It's also the name of the show. I will talk to each and every one of you very, very soon here on the Russ Joy Show. Bye now.